Good evening. Prime Minister Trudeau walked into his office early this morning, gathered his staff together, and broke the news. After 16 years as leader of the Liberal Party, he's going to give someone else a chance. With the details on today's dramatic events and reaction from around the country, we go now to Peter Mansbridge in Ottawa.
Nolton, everyone knew that this day was coming, but it still managed to catch us by surprise. A sleepy, snowy day here in the capital suddenly came alive. The news got out early this afternoon, and it spread fast. Bill Casey reports.
This simple one-page letter was delivered by hand to Iona Campagnolo, President of the Liberal Party of Canada, just after 10 o'clock this morning. It read,
Dear Iona, I wish to inform you of my decision to resign from the leadership of the Liberal Party.
The letter was signed Pierre E. Trudeau. When the news first broke, reporters rushed to Trudeau's office door. The question that greeted him was not simply why, but why today?
Had a good day yesterday and worked on Aboriginal rights, and it seemed like a good day to have a last day.
Trudeau added on his way into his office that he'd made the decision after taking a solitary walk last night during the capital's biggest snowstorm of the year. This afternoon, Party President Iona Campagnolo called a news conference to say that the party executive will meet this weekend to pick a date for a leadership convention. It will probably be in June. Campagnolo said Trudeau phoned her this morning before sending over his resignation letter, and at the time, a thought struck her.
I felt it was a very historic moment and a very historic time for Canada. And I noted to myself the date and thought, 29th of February, we should have known.
Then as he left his office this evening, Trudeau ran down the sequence of last night's events that led to his decision to quit now.
I went to Judo with my boys. And, a very good Judo lesson because nobody was there because of the storm, so we had the teachers all to ourselves. And I went home, discussed with the boys, put them to bed, walked till midnight in the storm. Interesting, eh? And then I went home and took a sauna for even an hour and a half. It was all clear. I was going to leave, but I went to sleep just in case I'd change my mind overnight, and I didn't. I woke up. It was great. I use the old cliche, this is the first day of the rest of my life. Here we are.
Trudeau first attracted national attention as a sort of philosopher-politician. It seems he wants to leave the same way. He said as he walked through the storm last night, he looked for signs of destiny in the sky. There were none, just snowflakes. So he listened to his heart, and his heart, it appears, told him it was time to go. Bill Casey, CBC News, Ottawa.
Brian Mulroney and Ed Broadbent both extended the Prime Minister best wishes for the future, but neither man could do it in person. They are both on vacation in Florida. They, like everybody else in Ottawa, were caught unawares. Jason Moskowitz reports.
It was the least likely of days. It was a day of almost total paralysis. It was cold, it was windy, it was just plain miserable. Parliament Hill was shut down and quiet, not just because of yesterday's storm, but because MPs are either back home in their constituencies or down south in the sun. MPs have the week off, and Liberals thought Trudeau would never quit while they were all out of town. As far away as Vancouver, the assessments go like this.
I hope that when history is written, and I'm convinced, as a matter of fact, that when history is written, he will be recognized as an outstanding Prime Minister, a great Prime Minister that this country has had, and a true nation builder in the tradition of the Lauriers and the Macdonalds.
The former Premier of Manitoba is as blunt as he could be.
In the public sense, as Prime Minister, however, a much different case. He was an absolute walking disaster as Prime Minister.
One of the fiercest of his opponents was generous.
I said, you're a bit sorry to see him go.
To be very frank, yes. Because he sure made things in many ways more interesting, not necessarily more appealing all the time, but more interesting than a lot of other guys I could think about.
As for Joe Clark, well, he was Prime Minister the last time Trudeau quit.
To understate it, he's had a dramatic impact on the country, and we'll leave it to history to judge what kind of impact that has been.
And from Joey Smallwood, some parting advice.
I hate to see him go. I sent him a telegram saying so, And I only use 5 or 6 words in the telegram. Right Honourable Pierre Trudeau, Prime Minister, Ottawa, no, 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 no. Joseph R. Smallwood.
Tributes will be paid in the Commons next week. Then more tributes at the Liberal Leadership Convention. This, his second retirement, will mean a long goodbye. But this time, goodbye. It's going to be. Jason Moskowitz, CBC News, Ottawa.